Hello Guardians, it's G10 coming at you with another Legend Lost Sector tutorial. This time we're going to be heading back to the Cosmodrome to take on Exodus Garden 2A, which is one of the first Lost Sectors you encounter as a new Destiny 2 player because it's part of the new Light questline. You should be familiar with how this Lost Sector flows, but if you're having trouble running the Legend version, you've come to the right place. I'll show you how I like to run this Legend Lost Sector on my Hunter. I've already done videos with my Warlock and Titan, so I thought I'd give my main man some love. And yes, I'm a Hunter main. Deal with it. I usually run Revenant on my Hunter, but for this one I'll be running Top Tree Night Stalker just because Vanishing Step gives so much utility and safety. For weapons, I'll be running the Dead Man's Tale Scout Rifle, which just looks, sounds, and feels amazing. The Imperial Needle, which is rapidly becoming one of my favorite energy bows to run, even in regular content. And finally, the Falling Guillotine with Whirlwind Blade, which I'll be using to deal with all of the champions in this Lost Sector. These weapons are really good for this Lost Sector because at the time of recording, there is a Void Elemental burn, which increases your void damage dealt by 50%. Falling Guillotine just melts champions with this burn on. I'll also be running Wormhusk Crown for the added survivability, and also because I think it makes my Hunter look really cool with the Guardian Games cloak, especially when the trim is gold. It's not right now because Warlocks pulled off another win, but Hunters will bring it back, I believe. You don't have to run any exotic gear, by the way. This is just what I like to do. You can run this Legend Lost Sector with just your regular legendary gear, but of course I'll also be running the Overload Bow and Anti-Barrier Scout Rifle mods on my arms because that's just the standard for any Legend Lost Sector. So that's a setup that I like to run, but remember, you can do this Legend Lost Sector with any class or subclass because it's so straightforward. Now, without further ado, let's get into Exodus Garden. Okay, so right on spawning, I switch to my Fallen Guillotine and take down the servitor right here. It should kill a Shank right next to it. There is another Shank that you will have to kill before this barrier goes down. There it is. I'm just gonna melee it. There are a bunch of dregs here that you have to take care of. I'm just gonna shoot them with my Imperial Needle. It should one-shot them even through the body because of the void damage burn. Now, after you clear out these dregs, there will be a barrier servitor spawning right here. I switch to my Fallen Guillotine with Whirlwind Blade. It should just be a full stack of Whirlwind plus the Spin to Win move, and the barrier is down. You don't even need to use the anti-barrier right there, but an Overload Captain does spawn right here as soon as you kill that one. I'm just gonna take him out with my Falling Guillotine once again, dodge out, get the invisibility, get back to safety. Use my utility here, keep shooting. There's a sniper here, a Vandal that's very, very annoying if you don't take care of him right there, just like I did. So if you don't take care of him while he's on that building, he will drop down and move to the top of the next building a little bit back. So he's going to be a little bit safer, but I do jump on top of this one. Now that area right there, which is blocked off with the containers, that's where all of the dregs spawn. There are a couple of explosive Shanks that will come out of that doorway there, but they're very easy to deal with. But in this section, there are a couple of champions that you will have to worry about. There is an Overload champion that will show up right here. There he is. Stun him up. Go for the Fallen Guillotine. Just 5 strikes, don't even need to go spin to win, and a barrier servitor at the same time. Make sure to take care of one or both of them almost immediately, because it gets really annoying if that barrier servitor is able to tether to the Overload Captain. But right here you see so many dregs spawning in, so I just double back because if you stay in that area you will get flanked by dregs coming up behind you as well. See, like, if I was in that area, I would have died to that resilient dreg right there. They will be going on top of the roof, so that's a little bit hard to deal with if you don't know exactly where they are. So I would suggest just falling back a little bit and sniping with your bow, taking your time, placing your shots, and really, this is a very simple section. Just Basically, target practice is like shooting fish in a barrel. There is a servitor right there, but once you kill the barrier servitor, that's the last champion that you will have to deal with for this entire Lost Sector. The boss room is going to be up next, so right after I kill this servitor right there, the barrier will drop, and the big boy servitor is right there. Now, he's chasing me right here. It's a little bit of aggro, so I'm just gonna slide out, dodge out, but usually if you're far back enough, it won't even notice you, it won't even try to shoot you. But there are a couple of mini servitors that are assisting that big servitor. Their shields do explode and do AoE damage if you take out the shields, so what I do is, yeah, I start to deal with the smaller ones before going for the big boy, which is fairly easy to deal with, and I'll show you in just a little bit as soon as I take care of the small ones as well as the dregs. So really just staying back here and sniping with your bow or scout rifle, if you prefer, is a great option. I'm just gonna pull out the deadmans here, and this little cubby, just turn right here as soon as you enter the boss arena, and you're gonna get rushed by a few dregs. You should be fine, they're very easy to deal with still. And the reason I'm here is because this is a place where you can cheese the boss from. Now, this servitor, you just have to find a spot, just sit there, and find a spot where his shots will land on the container in front of you and not really damage you. And as you can see, I'm just going to keep shooting at him with my Deadman's Tail. He doesn't really damage me, there's not much he can do to affect me, and that's the Lost Sector done. I didn't even use my super that entire time. Grab the loot. And if you want, there are a few more shanks that spawn right here. There's my super. And that's gonna be it for the Lost Sector. Final time is 4:17, definitely doable under 5 minutes. And that is Exodus Garden 2A, one of the simplest Lost Sectors to do. So that's gonna be it for Exodus Garden 2A. As you saw, it's a very simple, straightforward Legend Lost Sector. You can do it in under 5 minutes with any class or subclass, and if you're a relatively new player, this is one of the easier Legend Lost Sectors to solo, so you can start getting some of those coveted exotic armor pieces. If you guys liked this video or found it useful in any way, shape, or form, please do consider leaving a like or a comment on the video, as well as maybe consider subscribing to my channel. I will be covering every Legend Lost Sector as it comes into rotation, even with Season of the Chosen coming to a close soon. And, you know, we'll be getting a new artifact mods, maybe scout rifles and bows won't be the way to go, but I will let you know. If you guys want to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch, all 3 links will be in the description below. So, without further ado, love you guys, have a wonderful day, happy Guardian Games, go Hunters!